vacation. You're up north. Hey, John, what's going on? Diane, good to see you too. Dang, hot Maine. It's not bad here. It's 890 something. But not yet though. Starbucks should be paying me. Very Dorian sounding, which is intentional. Let's see if that helps a little bit. All right, let me end this. Boom. All right, everybody. We're going to talk about the Dorian scale today. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out where to put the camera because I've got two screens now. So it's like last week I had it kind of straddling both screens. This week, it's also a wider lens, I think. I might be able to change that, but I actually didn't do download any software specifically for the camera. I just plugged it in and it worked with OBS. So. Morning, Sam. Your thumb is still weak, but getting better. It's on your left hand, right? I forgot, John. Is it your right or your left? If it's your left, yeah, it would make it be tough to not grab the neck like a baseball bat. Probably you can be striking it while you're sitting watching TV too, and just make sure you bend it. My fingers are always sore every morning when I wake up. So I'm always doing this kind of stuff, just kind of warm them up. I don't crack the knuckles so much. Sometimes they crack, but I don't crack my knuckles. But usually when I'm walking to Starbucks, before I have a cup of coffee in my hand, I'll do, I don't force anything. Do this, get the wrist limbered up, and then this kind of thing to kind of just get blood going to the fingers. Oftentimes when I go for walks, my hands swell up because you're walking and your hands are kind of swaying to your side and they just fill up with blood. Almost immediately, if you want, one of the things you can do is just raise your hands over your head and it immediately cuts back on the swelling in your hands within seconds. And so a lot of times I'll be feeling like I got fat fingers and I just go like this and they immediately thin out. So it's pretty nice. Oh, did you just do that, Dennis? You got to be super careful when you're sawing stuff. I'm try to be careful. I don't hurt my hands as much, although I have a bee sting or something on the side of this finger, or I got some kind of splinter or something. I can tell there's a little infection in there that's trying to kick out something, but oh yeah, I bet. So it was splinted, so you couldn't. What's going on? I'm just saying hi to everybody. If you have any questions, I just kind of want to wait until we get a few people here, get a quorum, as they say. We got 16. That's not too bad. 17. Charlie B, what's going on? Good to see you. Hey, name 5 guitarists who are really good at tremolo picking. Tremolo picking. I don't know. Eddie Van Halen. You're probably thinking of like speed metal guys or something like that. I don't know. Hey, good morning, Doc. Bob Schumann's in the house. Wiesendonga. How you doing? Catherine's in the house. Wow, Leo. Okay, everybody's starting to show up now. What is it? Has it jumped up all of a sudden? 20. All right. But I did a video a few weeks ago. I haven't done. I've got to get some news videos going. Just been other priorities, and then also summer vacation. Beth's around and stuff, so it makes it a little tougher to do things. She goes back to work on Friday, so where's my channel? Here it is. And so I'm going to post a link to the. But I did my top 10, actually 12 most used scales, and let's see. Oh, finger picking tips. Oh, that one's not doing too bad. I forgot I did that one. 10 finger picking tips for beginners. Yeah, I guess that one took some editing. I forgot about that one. So here's the one. Oh, let me post the Discord link too. Sorry. The Discord link is here. Oops. Copy. So that YouTube link there is for the my top 10 video of my top 10 scales video. Oh, thank you, Joseph. Thanks for the coffee. Did you like Valley Arts guitars? I never owned one. I remember them. I remember going to see them. I could never afford one when they were a thing. When Valley Arts was, a thing in the Valley. And I lived in Pasadena, so I was in the Valley all the time. I live in the Valley now. But it was on, I think they were on Ventura Boulevard. Maybe, yeah. And I think, what's his name? I was a big. It's funny because I was big Larry Carlton fan when he was playing at 335. But when he switched over to the Valley Arts Strat, I wasn't that big a fan of his tone. It was funny. I really liked the way he sounded with basically what was a 335 directly into Mesa Boogie at the time. Now he plays Dumbles, but back then it was Mesa Boogie. 2-year hiatus, Doc. Oh man, well, welcome back. But Valley Arts guitars are kind of like, they were almost one of the first companies, the custom Strats. There's so many companies now. Tom Anderson was another early one to that. Yes. Lydian, let's see. So you're saying Locrian over, yeah, if I think in this jam track, I put a D sharp in there, okay? So I think in this piano part here, yeah. So I put if I muted those, I can do that. I can just click on the F sharp and then hit M and it mutes them. So now there's a B in there. But I intentionally added the F sharp to this progression, to this chord. So I'm playing like an A minor. Oops, where's it? Piano. A minor, adding a B every now and then. I'm adding a F sharp every now and then to make it more Dorian sounding. And we're gonna do an A minor D7 jam in a minute later in this lesson. I have that one too that I recorded. But this one is just A minor kind of vamp. But I'm playing a A minor 7, and I'm adding that F sharp in there every now and then. Maybe adding that B every now and then. I think I hit a D in there too. So I'm basically getting all the notes. Let me turn this up a little bit. Now, standard A minor would be A to A, so it would sound like this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But what you do in Dorian is you take a minor scale and you raise that 6th degree, that 6th note. Sorry, 6th degree is kind of a technical term in music theory terms. 3, 4, 5. It has a cool sound to it by itself. I wouldn't say it sounds Middle Eastern or anything like that. It doesn't sound exotic necessarily. But it almost sounds... It sounds just different and interesting. And so that, yeah, and so you could play Lydian over A minor. A lot of times... here's the deal: when you've got an A minor chord that you're playing over, and you've got a solo over A minor, yes, you could technically play any minor scale. A minor pentatonic, obviously. Got to turn down. Hold on. A minor pentatonic, you could play. You could play A minor. You can play A minor. It does sound elevating, Peroni. That's actually a really good description because you're raising one of the notes. It's like if, in fact, like if I were to do Phrygian, that would be an A minor scale. Oops, I gotta click on the piano to hear it. With a flatted second. So it would sound diminishing, right? Like you're almost even sadder than A minor is a Phrygian. And we're going to get to that one another time. But, John, the thing is, it's what chords, if it's just a pure A minor vamp the entirety of the song, which is unlikely, then yeah, sure, you can approach it any way you want. Assuming the piano player is not implying some mode by playing an F sharp or playing a B flat or playing a B natural or whatever. The thing you're going to want to know is where is it going to? And in the case of this next progression, it's basically A minor to D7. Right? There's a 1, there's a 4 in Dorian mode. Now, oftentimes when you're doing A minor to D7, you're going to G major, which now you're technically in the key of G major, which is the relative major key to A Dorian. So you could think of A Dorian as being G major, and that's totally fine, except you want to make sure your head is all wrapped around an A as the root. You don't want to be thinking G so much because then you'll be playing G licks and it won't work over the A. It'll be like that doesn't really sound good. So it's like, oh, I'll use my favorite G licks, and it's like it doesn't quite cut it. So you do definitely want to think, learn to think in the modes if you can. Because it's fun. I mean, when you heard me jamming earlier, and I don't know if any of you heard that, I'm going to go back to the pure A minor one. But in that context, yeah, if you're going to a D7 chord, see, if I'm going A minor to D minor, to D minor, D minor ninth or whatever, then definitely I'm in A minor because D minor has an F natural in it. But if I'm going A minor to D7 or D9 in this case, then you're definitely going to hear Mixolydian. I'm sorry, not Mixolydian. Dorian tonalities in there. And could you go from A minor to Dorian? You could. You could go, you know, if you wanted to, you could, you know, well, this is just minor, but, and then when it changed to the D7, I can try that in the next, when I start jamming over the A minor to D7 progression, I can show you that. Yeah, you could do that. You could take A minor to D mixolydian if you wanted, something like that. But you know, again, once you're in that vamp of A minor to D7, I can really feel the B string or whatever this was when I do bar chords. Bass notes are fuzzing out the guitar. Okay, thank you. Let me pull way back. Also, I can lower the volume of the bass notes on the piano. And the kick too. The kick drum will do that too, because I kind of made the bass go along with the kick drum. Okay, hopefully that'll help. Thank you, Ollie. All right, now let me go back to the tone here. All right, and it also could be my bass notes too, huh? Let me roll off the bass a little bit here, because this room it could be a little overwhelming. Just goes crazy in my room. Always has. Something about so drywall has a stud every 18 inches, and that 18 inches of space resonates that note in every room. So no matter where you are, you're probably going to get a really strong C below middle C, and the B too. The B is really. Crazy. You know, I don't ever really adjust for it, because when it's mixed, when it goes to be mixed, they fix it. So you have a Washburn Dreadnought and Oscar Smith Odin. Oh, nice. I know, I'm not breaking the rules anymore, am I? I know, we need more reasons to. We have a drinking game, and it's like, I don't know. Surely I still touch my face, right? You guys are just not catching it. Sounds like a saxophone. Oh. Let me turn down this level here. Is it my voice is doing the same thing too? Is it distorting? I'm still trying to get used to it. This is only the second time I've used this camera. It has built-in mics. So. Yeah, I can turn down my guitar too. So let's talk about, I've got a couple diagrams here, or no, I've got a diagram. Just need one. So I hope I got this right. I fixed that one this morning, by the way, finally. So now if you go to the Discord link, and you go to Tom's lesson PDFs tab, you'll find the corrected. I forgot to add this note to both of the diagrams, so I added it this morning and upped it. Okay. Yeah, I'll just stay away from the A string. How about that? I mean the low E string. I don't want to overwhelm you with that, but you can see those R's. Those are all the A notes, or they should be. They better be A notes. But yeah, I didn't get up to the 17th fret. Let me tune real quick. I have a million tuners and none of them are here. Here we go. They're all behind me. guys are getting a different perspective of my office this week. It's not very big. It's actually the smallest room in the house. That's why it may feel a little crowded. All right. Tuning. So, I'll put this here where I can see it. So basically, an A minor scale would be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Real easy. Or I'll play it up here. That would be A minor. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. The only difference between A minor and A Dorian is that you take that F and you raise it up to F sharp. So you're taking the sixth note, the sixth degree of the scale, and you're going up one fret or one half step. And it is a little bit more uplifting. It's a little bit more positivity in the minor. You're like not having that bad of a day. Not a bad enough day to play minor scales, so play Dorian. Not a great day, but there's a lot of like B.B. King. He would imply a Dorian scale the way he would play the happy blues. You know, a lot of players, blues players, would use a minor blues. B.B. King would often use that. Instead of playing the seventh, he would go down to the F sharp and play the sixth. That delay is kind of annoying, isn't it? Let me see if I can get, I know I can get rid of it. So I can minimize it. Where are you? Yeah, I can take it down here. See. All right, that's fine. All right, so let's see, John Y. So I just play the caged form corresponding to the parent major key. Don't know if that sounds confusing, but that's the first way I've learned modes. Just play the caged form corresponding to the parent major scale. I don't quite understand. Yeah, no, my bathrooms are huge. Actually, one of our bathrooms is probably bigger than this room, but my bathroom is not bigger than this room. So it's not the biggest room in the house. Okay, whatever. I mean, the smallest room in the house. But as you count rooms. Yeah, I mean, so the Dorian scale, let's talk about that. The Dorian scale is based off the second degree of the relative major scale. And what the heck does that mean? Okay, so let's say we're in the key of C. Let me go to the piano, and I wish you could see my hand, but basically, C major scale. If I were to take the same, and that's all white keys. I'm not trying to be racist here, it's just all white keys. All right, if I go up one key and start on a D, that's the Dorian scale. Not because it starts on a D, but just because it's a Dorian scale. So the second scale, after the major, same exact notes, but starting on, it's funny because it's the same notes, but doesn't sound anything like C, which is always my point. You're like, well, I can just play in the key of C, except the C scale doesn't sound anything like a Dorian scale. Has the exact same notes, but that's just a clue how to get there. That's not how you play it. And then if I go up to the next one, E, and play E to E, all white keys, E, F, G, A, B, C, that's the Phrygian scale. All right. And what's this? Anybody know what this is? Hold on a second. Total side note. Okay. See who can guess that. All right, so so what I'm doing is I'm basically playing the G scale starting on the A note. And again, that's only just for kind of reference or how to find it. But that's kind of what basically what I just said, Sam. Yep. So, but if you know how to play a minor scale, then you can just take that, or you just know the letters A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You just take that F and you go up a fret. Okay? So let's do this. Let's go ahead and I'm going to show you an A Dorian scale here at the 5th fret. We're going to shift. We're going to go down to the 4th fret for a couple strings, but we're going to basically play it in this position. And ultimately, I find that there's a lot of great riffs and shapes that feel good further up the neck, as well as in this position. But I'm going to play a couple of them and maybe highlight them. And then we're going to talk about playing over 2 chords. And then you could also arrive at the Dorian scale if you took a major scale and lowered the 3rd and the 7th. But that's 2 steps. So if you know how to play a minor scale, it's only 1 step to get from a minor scale to a Dorian scale. It's also only 1 step to get from a minor scale to a Phrygian scale. And so it's very, very closely related to the minor scale. They both have minor tonalities, minor sounds. They both have minor 7ths and they both have minor 3rds. So you're going to find that all 3 of those scales, the minor, the Dorian that we're working on today, and the Phrygian, they're all going to work fine over an A minor 7 chord, technically. But usually, even in an A minor jam like this, there's going to be some kind of clue. Did I unmute that F sharp? I did. Oh no, it's still muted. You hear that F sharp in there, and that's the hey Kathy, what's going on? That's your big clue that we're in A Dorian. All right. So let's go ahead and play this scale. First finger on the 5th fret of the bottom string, and it's going to be 5, 7, 8. So I'm going to play it with my first finger, 3rd finger, and pinky. I'm trying to play those notes soft, so they don't jump out too much. Okay. So far it just sounds like a minor chord, minor scale. A, B, C. Okay. That sounds like something already, okay? Now the next string, we're only going to have 2 notes. We're going to have the D at the 5th fret and the E at the 7th fret, okay? And still, it still could be A minor. So far, we haven't gotten to the 6th degree. We've only hit 5 notes, so the 6th degree is, again, where that F sharp comes in. Play that with me. So 5, 7, 8, 5, 7. And then backwards, 7, 5, 8, 7, 5. And now if we wanted to play A minor, you would go with the 8 there, and that would be the F. And that's very minor sounding. Yeah, the only difference between the Aeolian, which is A minor, and the Dorian is you raise that 6th degree. And we're getting to it now. So we have 5, 7, 8, 5, 7. And then we're going to shift down to the 4th fret. And on the 4th string, we're going to play the 4th fret. And there's our F sharp. And then we're going to go 5th fret, which is G, and then to our A. Okay? And you could play it. You could reach out and get that F sharp over here on the 5th string. I mean, very rarely am I going to play that, unless it was written for me to play, but that would be, I would take a section of this. You know, I might do something like that in my playing, but I don't know that I would do something as simple as that. So, so again, let's start from the bottom. 5, 7, 8, 5, 7, shift 1 fret down, 4, 5, 7. And now that we're down there, we just keep going. Here's our root. That's an A note. A, B, C. So now we're going to go 4, 7, or 4, 5, 7 again. And there's what I call a snippet that feels great. You can have a lot of fun just with those 6 notes. Okay, so let's go ahead and start from the 4th fret of the 4th string. 4, 5, 7. Again, same thing on the next string. 4, 5, 7. And now we can shift back up and go 5, 7, 8, and 5, 7, 8. I'm just going all the way to the end here, but it's the same as the bottom string. Is that Band on the Run? Is that what that is? No, not Band on the Run. That's Live and Let Die. Right? Is that the melody from it? Am I right? Is it? If so, it's a very Dorian melody. Or maybe, yeah, it's pretty Dorian. Yep. Hey, Lena's here. Hey, Lena, good to see you. Always. Yeah, Live and Let Die. Copyright strike. Exactly. I had to take down that video because I had 6 copyright strikes on my hooks video, which I knew was going to happen. So they didn't hurt my. They only would have hurt me if I said I wrote the songs, and I didn't. So. So that's. So let's go ahead and go from the bottom again. Okay, 5, 7, 8, A, B, C, then D, E, 5, 7, then shift down to the 4th fret. 4, 5, 7, which is F sharp, G, A. So we're back to the root now on A. Okay, you should be able to see that on there. You see a little R in there if you can read that. And then we're going to go on the 3rd string. We're going to go 4th fret, and then 5th fret, and then 7th fret. Okay, and then 5th fret, 7th fret, 8th fret, and then 1st fret. I'm sorry, 1st string, 5th fret, and we can stop there. But it continues on. You got your 3rd, you got your B. I'm sorry, you got your 2nd here, which is the B, and then the C. No, not Band on the Run. It was Live and Let Die. I was thinking Band on the Run, and that F sharp just sounds great. It just sounds like you're being jazzy and kind of fusiony. It's like the 9th is, or the 2nd. 2nd is the same as the 9th, okay? Also sounds very jazzy or mysterious. A, B, C. A, B, C, D. And again, you want to try to maybe work out, memorize the names of the letters. A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Okay, I can write that out. Also, it might not hurt for you to memorize the intervals. So it's whole, half, whole, 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 half, whole. Okay, that's the formula for a Dorian scale. I'll write it out here, sorry. I'll put it on the on here. Okay. Let me just do it at here. Okay. Now why am I showing you the formula? Well, that way you can make any Dorian scale. All right. I should have done this before, but well, what scales have we done so far? We did the Lydian, and we did, yeah, I got to do the major. That's going to be, I'll try not to make it too boring. But the formula is, if you use this formula, you can start on any note and make a Dorian scale based on that note. So let's start on G. Okay, if I go G, and let's do E. Start with the open E string. Okay, we go up a whole step, that's F sharp. We go up a half step, that's G. Another whole step, that's A. Another whole step, that's B. Another whole step, that's C sharp. Half step, that's D. And a whole step, that's E. Thank you, Holly. Okay. And that we talked about this last week too. You know, a great way to learn to scale, besides learning positionally, is to learn it on each individual string. So, for example, on the D string, okay, D is the fourth note in the A Dorian, right? A, B, C, D. So if I'm starting on D, then I have a whole step to A. I'm sorry, a whole step to E. Then another whole step to F sharp, G, A, B, C, and D, and maybe E. You can keep going. So I might, if I'm working on learning a new scale or learning a new progression or something, I might go around playing on one string and try to create some melodies that way. The other thing that's great for learning the scale individually up individual strings is that it allows you to kind of move around the neck better. So if I want to go from this position up to maybe here, then I can do that. Now I'm up in the 12th position. And so you can use your knowledge of the scale on each individual string to take you up and down the fretboard wherever you need to go, and do it in a musical way. All right? And that's a great trick. The other thing is you can start looking at adjacent strings, and then you can play the scale in just little two-string chunks, and then you can do alternate, skipping a string, and that way you get a little bit more interesting intervals, so everything's not seconds and thirds. Let me. I'm just going to play in the 5th position here for a second. Do some bends, half-step bends. Those always sound real. I'm going B, C, B, C here. Notice I'm using my first finger to do a bend, but I'm pulling down, which is easier. At least with the first finger, then with it. There's F sharp, G. Nice thing about the Dorian thing too, you also have that kind of diminished thing sound. Playing F sharp to C. Do that. That's a tritone or a diminished 5th. And that sounds really bluesy too. You can kind of get that blues sound. I haven't added the blues note. I'm trying really hard not to, because naturally, and somebody commented this on last week's scale, something like, don't play scales, that's stupid, don't learn scales, just play music. And I'm like, okay, I understand what you're saying. Probably not how you talk. but that's how I think you talk. But scales give you the tools to kind of start to figure out and decipher and learn your fretboard. And yes, you know, I won't stick purely to one scale just because I said, oh, this Dorian scale works over this chord progression. No, I might add that. If I want to play an E flat, I'm going to play it. But if I'm teaching about it, I'm going to be very specific and try not to hit notes that are not in the scale I'm talking about. So that's the kind of the dichotomy of teaching. You want to say the broad things like make music, but then you get specific and you're teaching about something specific about music, and you have to try to stick to it as a teacher. So, but the blues note, like if I was doing like a blues pentatonic, which we're going to get to as well, I can totally throw that note in. So now instead of having a 7-note scale, I've got an 8-note scale. And that note, it's really cool. It actually works. We'll get to the other progression too. It works great over the D as well as the A minor. So. Yeah, very, very Santana, Gilmore. Yeah, I think of Gilmore almost as more pure minor, but you're probably does do Dorian. I don't. One of the things, a little trick that I like is you could do that, which is very Dorian. No, it's actually got an F sharp or G sharp in it. But if I go, it's just kind of easy to play, and all I'm doing is I'm going second finger on the 5th fret of the 2nd string, and I'm pulling off to that E flat, so I'm getting the blues sound. And then I'm reaching down and getting with a pinky, I'm getting that D. And then I do that same thing on every string. So pull off. And I want to go C sharp. And if you really want, you can start with that G natural or the G sharp. It just sounds like if you do it fast enough, nobody hears the note. It just sounds flashy. It's just a trick. I got it actually from a bluegrass rockabilly guitar player. Okay, now I'm going to work up. And just looking at the diagram right here, boom, you can see some little areas that are fun to play. Like if you got, this, you can just move it down 2 frets and go 2, 4, 5, 2, 4, 5. Which is exactly an octave below the top 2 strings. But you can find that up here too. No, let's see. Where's it? Here it is. Yeah, it's okay. So, oh, I don't need to click on, do I? That's silly. All right, sorry about that. Now I did another progression. It's A minor to D7 or D9. Using this one string to get up the neck. kind of visualizing the A minor chord right here at the 12th fret. Just making a little A minor triad. 14, 13, 12. And getting that beautiful 6th up there. Pull off to that 7th to the 12th. Kind of a cool little X shape. It looks like an X. 12, 14, 13, 12, 14. And the chord's changing to D, but I'm not making any accommodations for the D. I'm still playing an A Dorian. So I'm not really even acknowledging so much the D chord. Because the cool notes over the D chord aren't D. It's like the C, the E, the F sharp. You know, you get that 7th, the 9th, the 3rd. You got that root up there. Hit the root, fall off it, hit the 7th, 6th, 5th, E, hit the D note, which I included in this diagram this week. And that's very Santana. Check this out. Very Santana. You know, Santana might do a thing where it was like, you know, piano, need piano. Very Latin pop kind of chord progression. You know, it would be like, it would be something like that. It would be kind of a bastardization of a reharmonization of a Santana song. I forget what song he does that's like that. It's an old one though. Yeah, Sadie's in the house. What's going on, Sadie? Oh man, don't do something else. Guess what? You don't want to hang out with me? Come on, what's wrong with you? What do we have? We have 30. That's not bad. Oh, it says concurrent. Right here it says 35 and up here it says 30. So I don't know which it is. But I appreciate it. Okay, so the chords I'm playing, basically it's A minor to D7 is what's happening here. That's it's funny because George Benson had a massive hit with this Masquerade. It was his first hit, big hit. It launched his career really. I mean, he had a lot of records before that. But this Masquerade, I don't know if it's an A minor, but it's when George Benson solos, he's soloing over it. Maybe C minor to F7, I can't remember, but he solos over that 2-5 progression. So why am I calling it a 2-5 progression? Okay, we haven't talked about that, and I haven't even said it that much, or if at all. Have I said it? So remember we talked about the Dorian scale is the scale built on the 2nd degree of the major scale. So in this case, we're in A Dorian. So if we go down a whole step from A, we get G. So there's a G major scale. If we go and play those exact same notes going A to A, that's how we get an A Dorian scale. So if we play the A minor chord, that's a 2 chord. G major 7 would be the 1 chord. B minor would be the B minor 7 would be the 3 chord. The 4 chord would be C major 7, D7, E minor, and so on and so forth. Okay, So A minor is the 2 chord. D7 is the 5 chord in the key of G. Now, we don't go to the 1 chord. Oops. In this progression. And that's, so we're just sitting on these 2 chords. So if I went to the G chord, like if I did a 2-5-1, then in that case, I might be more prone to play just G major scales. Oh, can you drop the fretboard diagrams 1 fret? I think see the 4th fret. Wait, what? For students to see the 4th fret. Oh. All right. But that might be a better place for it anyway. Okay, so I can even probably make it a little bigger. It doesn't matter if my headstock gets covered up. All right, so the so yeah, in that context, I might think in the key of G. But because we're just playing A minor to D7, back and forth, you know, it's a jam. And that's what Benson is doing. So when he plays over this, he goes really blues. He skews to the blues, but he'll hit that B natural and that F sharp, which are those, in my opinion, kind of the sweet tones. That B and F sharp. You can say a lot, you know, with adding those notes into that minor blues. Do I have a jazz in here? Now I'm saying that. Yeah, that's more Santana. This is more Benson-y, I guess. I don't know. George, just talking about George Benson, he would also use chromatic scales. So he'll pick a note up to start on, the top note, like a pretty note, like a B. Might go down to the E. But anyway, that's George. We're not talking about chromatics today. Hold on a second. God, I've lost so much ground in my playing. We produced a music video last weekend that ended up being COVID spreader. Oh, great. Bonus. Dang. And now I have some time for my guitar again. 1 step forward, 7 steps back. Well, I hope you're okay. Hope it's more just a positive test, and that's about all that's about all you have from it. I think a lot of people just stopped. Yeah, raspberry, probably. A lot of people just stopped getting tested. It's like, don't get tested. You know, I guarantee you all are guilty of this. We've all done this, and I'm touching my face so we can take a drink. Cheers. It's one of my drinking game rules. If I touch my face, we can take a drink. We've all gone to work sick. I'm not talking about in the last couple of years, but I'm talking about in the last 50 years. I mean, you got to, sometimes you got to go to work. You don't have a choice. You got to go in. They need you, whatever. You know, you can't just, and we all went to work sick. We've all gotten people sick at work, you know, because we brought a cold or the flu or something. Of course, I don't know the difference between cold and flu. In Indiana, a cold was a runny nose, a cough, something like that. The flu was if you were vomiting. But I come to Indiana, or California, and it's like, oh, you got a fever and you're runny nose and you're coughing. Oh, that's a flu. I'm like, well, I thought flu was, you know, stomach flu is what I always thought flu was short for. So I feel like, oh yeah, I just have a cold. So big deal. But yeah, it's like now. I mean, it's, and the thing is, when I've gone to like Japan, the thing I notice about in Japan is that there would be people there wearing masks on the trains and stuff. I'm talking about 20 years ago. And I'm like, oh man, they're germaphobes here. And somebody said, no, they're not germaphobes. They're sick, but they're going to work and they just don't want to infect anybody. So, you know, I was like, oh, okay, well that makes sense. So that may be the new reality. You go to work, you got something. You're not going to get tested every time you've got a cold. And you go, yeah, okay, I'm just going to, I got to go to work, but I got to wear a mask, and everybody knows to kind of like, don't share a can of Diet Coke with this person. So, or a cup of coffee or whatever shouldn't share anything with anyone at work. It's just not appropriate. Stop it. Stop sharing stuff at work. But I'll tell you that, like, I'm pretty sure the NAMM show back in 2020 was a super spreader. Think about all the musicians in February that were there, and probably 1/4 of the people there at the NAMM show were from China, because China is one of the big manufacturers, and they have a lot of booths at the NAMM show, and they're also big purchasers. And people are picking up guitars and playing them and putting them down. I think now NAMM show you probably won't even be able to pick up a guitar and play it unless you bring it yourself. So, yeah. Dennis, yeah, it's exactly right. You got to go to work. You can't. No, they're not going to pay you to stay home every time you have a sniffles, or every time you test positive, which you could have a false positive. You could have a whole box full of false positives. I've got COVID tests. I've never tested positive, but and I got the antibody test. I never had. I thought, oh, I've had COVID because I felt like I've been sick a couple times during all of this, but not according to the antibody test. They said, nope. I'm like, oh, okay. So. But yeah, I mean, the cool thing about seeing the fretboard this way here, now I got a point over here, is that you can see all these little boxes, little shapes. I mean, look at the 7th fret on the top 2 strings. I mean, if you really have no pinky skills at all, or you don't have, if you're Django Reinhardt, there it is. And you can see that shape. Kind of in different places. Okay, so you can even just jam on that, even over the two chord progression, the 2/5. And those 4 notes contain the 2 sweet notes, the 7th. I'm sorry, the F sharp, which is the 6th, and the B, which is the 9th, or the 2nd, which is a sweet. I'm adding that blues note in there now. Playing the F sharp, hitting the D, and then going up to the blues note, back down to D, and then down to the C, and then the A. Roll off the tongue. I can go up to the 7 too. Okay, and let me just point out this. One of the differences between A minor 7 and D7, you can imply it by just doing this. You can even just take the, here, you basically have the main notes of A minor 7 here. A, 7th fret of the 4th string, 5th fret of the 3rd string, and then pinky on the 2nd fret, 2nd string, 8th fret, and you got A, C, and G. That's kind of an A minor 7 chord, and you just slide your pinky down. Okay, you can even just do it with these two notes. Okay, but basically you're going from A minor 7 to D. Okay, so if you have a lick, you're playing over the A minor 7. Just make that one little change when it goes to the D chord, and you're making a lick that's much more accommodating to the D7 chord. If I play that. That's a minor, that's the 2nd over the A, and it's the 13th over the D. See that? So that's why that B just has such a jazzy sound to it, because it's that. It's so jazzy sounding, right? All right, let's see. Playing Your Ball Music Man today. Oh, nice. Oh, so you're playing you have a Ernie Ball Music Man amp. I remember those amps. Country players were using those things like crazy. Like that was like the amp to get if you were a country player, and it was like a Fender Deluxe. How how Leo Fender wanted to make it, like when he created Music Man. Then he sold Music Man and he created G&L. So this was the last company that Leo Fender had, and it's G&L, George and Leo, George Fullerton and Leo Fender, and they started Fender together, and they started Music Man together. Yep, the Dorian blues. So Sam's right. We can have the. So if we want to think of the notes in A Dorian with the blues note in there, okay, it's A, B, C, D. I like to think E flat and E, F sharp, and G. Those are all the notes. I think I got it right. So now we have instead of an 8-note scale or 7-note scale, we have an 8-note scale. And again, you can, I love it right here. So put your first finger on the 7th fret of the 3rd string, and then play the 8th fret, and there's your blues note. You get that. But you can also, instead of going to the E, you can go up to the F sharp. And that just sounds really cool. So I'm going 7, 8, and then 7. Right? Okay, so does anybody know what this is? This is a musical quiz. Let's see, I can find it. Okay. What's that from? Yep, plus the octaves, yeah. So you technically have 9 notes if you think of all of it. Yeah. Nice. Black Star, nice. Yeah, I almost always play this guitar, don't I? No, I don't want that sound. But listen to this over the... A note up here on the 10th fret of the 2nd string, And him in that blues note, and then down to the D, C, and then E. Ah, Sam got it right. Not The Exorcist. No, that's not The Exorcist. Sam's 100% right. It's a tritone. It's E. It's an E major over B with a B flat major. So it's just. Ah. Pepper's lurking. Exorcist. I don't know what that is, but I do know. What's this one? Is it one of them? Oh, I gotta play. No. That's like Friday the 13th or something. I'll probably get a copyright ban for that. Oh, BTTF. Yep. Back to the Future. So we went to Friday night. We saw the LA Philharmonic play the entire score to Back to the Future while watching Back to the Future at the Hollywood Bowl. So they broadcast the movie, and then the orchestra plays the score live, which is a lot of fun. We've done that before, like John Williams things and stuff. And this was, and Alan Silvestri, who did the score, was there. It was the first score he ever did. And it's freaking, it's just brilliant. Yeah, he just... The interesting thing about it is, like, the theme, even that motif, that 3-note motif, he's going back in time, and he's coming back, but not, things aren't quite right. Right? They messed something up. So that was part of the concept for the theme, just those even 3 notes, which is freaking brilliant. And then it's such a great theme to be able to, he could just move it around, and all the keys and everything, it all works right. Very, very Simpsons. It was the 80s, so there's a lot of that kind of the Simpsons kind of vibe. I think the Simpsons may have been around at that point, but maybe not. I think they came around like the year later. Danny Elfman wrote the Simpsons theme. The Jetsons, yeah, the Jetsons. Also, Maria, I just met a girl named Maria. Such a beautiful melody. And that's from West Side Story. All right. Woohoo! Homer is great. Yeah, now is it the Music Man, is it a big one or is it one of those smaller ones? Yeah, it's hard to find those Music Man amps, I think. Let me look up on Reverb. Music Man amp. Oh, heads. There's a lot of heads for sale. Oh, they're not expensive at all. $430, $700, $650, $900. I mean, these are like Fender Bassman. These are, oh wow, this guy really, He changed the color of it into purple. What the heck? Why does the picture not match the... I mean, I think these are pretty solid amps. I'd be tempted to pick one up just to have a really good, solid, clean head. But man, retubing these things, not cheap to retube things anymore. I mean, almost all of my work is done through computers. I don't even use amps anymore, except for church. Oh, you got the guitar, not amp. Okay. All right. For some reason, I was thinking the amp. Spider Pig, Spider Pig, Spider Pig. This person only has 2 reviews. Interesting. So let's see what else is going on. Yeah, so that was a lot of fun going to the Hollywood Bowl. You basically bring, it's one of those very, very LA things to do. We've done it a few times. And you bring food and booze. You can bring booze. You can bring wine and beer. And oh, I'm out. There we go. You can basically, you know, you get there, you know, between 6 and 7. And you just start eating and hanging out with friends and everything. And I brought Alex and Jack and their girlfriends, so there was 6 of us. And we just sat there and watched the show. It was a lot of fun, and it was like going to the movies, but with a live orchestra, which was really cool. And it wasn't expensive either. I mean, it wasn't. I think it was $29 a seat or something like that, and it was $7 round trip for the bus. So we took the bus in, so we didn't have to deal with parking, and that was nice because the buses took us right up the hill, right to the front door, and then leaving the buses. You know, they stopped the cars so the buses can leave, so we can get out of there. So we got home pretty quick. Yeah, story time. So I'm not sure. I didn't see anybody famous there, but I bought cheap seats. I didn't sit down in the box seats. That would have been a lot more, especially if I'm buying 6 seats. I'm not going to spend that kind of money. It's not like me. Gremlin invasion. Hey Doc, what's going on? Just saw you there. Yeah, we've done the John Williams thing a couple times. I played at the Hollywood Bowl. I told you about that, and that was a lot of fun. I played with a friend of mine, his band. I played on one song, but they needed guitar on the song, and so because I played on the record, and so they had me come out and play one song. But the sound check was fun because I got to kind of hook up my rig and play, like make some big loud noises, and I could hear my guitar go up the hill because it's basically, you know, a natural amphitheater, and there's 18,000 seats, so it's big, and the 18,000 seats are all on one hill. It's not like it's surrounded like a basketball arena or something like that. It looks like a lot of people when you're there, and it is, but it actually is not. It's not too much of a hassle. It really isn't. And then, so when I played there, yeah, I played with the Nortec Collective, and it was for, so I don't know if it was NPR. No, it was for something. It was a world EDM night. So it was all kind of electronic music, but with from around the world. So the main act was, we were like the second main act, but the main act was Crystal Method, and so with the other guy that played in the band was with me was oh shoot, what's his name? Alan Parsons from the Alan Parsons Project. Well, Alan Parsons was also an engineer with the Beatles towards the end of their career. So Alan Parsons was at a lot of those sessions. And so that was fun. I got to hang out with him, and Beth and I hung out with him and his wife. And that was years ago. I mean, we're talking gosh, that would have been, I don't know, it was 2008 or something like that. It was a long time ago. But it was fun playing at the Hollywood Bowl. And the crazy thing was, they let me pull my car literally up to the back of the bowl because there was no orchestra that night. So there was like hardly anyone was bringing gear. Like everything was shipped there. So I had my amp and everything, and I'm like, well, where should I park? And I go, oh, you can just park right here. Literally parked at the base, like right behind the stage. I was like, this is dope. So, and we left, I think, before the whole show was over, so we got out really easy, and that was cool. But sometimes when I parked, this is the first time I took the bus, and it was great. The last time I took the car, you know, it's stacked parking, so you're at the mercy of everyone around you. If they don't show up for their cars, you can't get out. It's like if they're hanging out in there just partying or whatever, and you're like, I want to leave, you can't leave because you're surrounded by cars. So, yeah, that's kind of one of those the drag about stacked parking. We went to the Greek Theater and saw Sheryl Crow one time, and I paid extra to not be part of stacked parking, and so that was nice. It was easier to get out. We left before the end of the show, so I was actually there to see the warm-up artist, not Sheryl Crow. So we peaked at, well, we peaked for just a second at 42. We're at 37 now. So any questions? So the Dorian scale formula, I can add another text thing here. It's A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Oops. So hard to grab the right thing. There you go. So those are the notes in the scale, if you can see that. Probably helps if my coffee cup's not there, or if I move it. All right. I'm not sure. Next week we'll probably do another scale. I don't know. I could do a mystery song again. I've just been really busy, and with summer and everything, it's just kind of a lot of things pulling in different directions. Once Beth goes back to work and things kind of get back to normal, I'll maybe try to do more. No, not for the blues scale. That would be the blues Dorian. We could call it a blues Dorian scale. Thanks, Holly. Yeah, hit that, smash that like button, as they say. I'm still getting used to this camera. I feel like the colors are more vivid, but I also feel like it's darker. Like my face has like shadows on it or something like that. I suppose I could get out my light. I've used this before. Remember this? Yeah, I'm not liking that though. It's right in my face. So, not going to use that. Also, I've been, now you can take a sip. I've been practicing classical guitar because I have a wedding to play on Saturday. I'm like not looking forward to it. It's okay if he's watching, he knows. But it's a good friend of mine, and his wife passed away a few years ago, and he's getting remarried, and I'm, happy to do it, but he wanted me to accompany him on a song. And maybe I'll teach you that. Maybe that might be a song that we use for the. I won't play it because I want it to be a mystery song, unless I already said it. But so I learned the song, where I listened to it and wrote a chart for it and everything. And then he calls me and says, "Oh, my friend Tanika wants to," or I forget her name, something like Tanika. Once it's going to sing too. So would you accompany her? I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then, oh, can you bring your classical and play wet music while people are being seated? All right. And I have no thumbnail right now, and it's not going to grow in time. So I've been trying to practice my, my classical guitar with, and I'm not going to play anything too difficult, but trying to do my classical guitar with the thumb pick is really tough. a thumb pick. I'm used to having my hand like this, right? So I'm having to use kind of country technique to play, which is just feels awkward on classical. I'm making enough mistakes so that it won't get copyright infringement. And it's not copyrighted anyway. It's actually... I had a, well, here's a problem, Kathy. I went and got a fake nail a while back, no, just a couple months ago for that very reason. I need a nail, and the problem is it was so thick, like it's not as thin as a regular nail. They have to make it thicker, that I couldn't get the string between the thumb and between the flesh and the nail. Like normally there's a gap there, and I need that gap to be able to get the. To get in there, and it's like, yeah, so actually I prefer a thumb pick, and it's, I'll pick easier music than this, although this piece, this one is nice because it's nice because it's almost all fingers and not much thumb on this. This is technically, it's what is it, Theme and Variations on Mozart Opus 9 by Fernando Sor. So now I got stuff that sounds more like a Spanish Western. Let's see. Like this is a great piece. Oh man, it's been forever since I even tried playing this. But I got drop D, right? So. As with it. I forget. Forever. What are we? What is it again? Because I have the guitar on my wrong knee too. Totally doing everything wrong. So anyway, I could probably just sit here and practice and leave it live while I'm practicing. You guys could just listen. Yeah, that one's Capricci Arabe by Tarrega. I mean, most of the great classical guitar music is Spanish. Yes, that's right, Peroni. Very nice. Yeah, it's a beautiful piece. I had it down at one point. It goes into major too, so it goes from D minor to D major. Kind of had it down at one point. Really, it's one of those ones you really shouldn't be reading. Where's my? I'm not used to the wide neck. I've been playing the electric all morning. Oh no. What is it? Like I said, it's been forever since I read this. I shouldn't get a strike for this. No, there we go. Oh, was it? Oh. In that same section. Turn the page. And then, yeah. Still in D major. I always forget. It's like, oh, shoot, I'm in D major. That's the tough reach right there. Was it? Let's see. I'm gonna do great. Well, I'm not gonna do that piece though. I mean, I generally won't do anything they would recognize. I probably will do. I played this is last. See, this is what's stupid. Last time I played the 6 Pavanas in a Fantasia, I got a copyright strike, and it was not the song. The piece is 500 years old, so it's not copyrightable. But I guess I played it so well that they thought it was a recording of it that wasn't. It was somehow copyrighted by a florist in Ohio. So I got a copyright strike from this florist in Ohio for this classical piece that's been around for 500 years. And let's see, I've got a so I had to challenge it, and I consequently couldn't make any money on the video for the 30 days it was taking for them to you know, challenge. But that's fine. Yeah, it just kind of was silly. And I commented on that on a Rick Beato video, and people were, well, like, you can't just play somebody's music. I'm like, it's public domain. They go, well, you can't play a recording of it. And I said, it wasn't a recording. It was me playing it live from my live stream. And I played, you know, public domain music, and I got a copyright strike. And they're like, oh, well, that's wrong. So, oh, well, there you go. Yeah, there's so much great classical guitar music. I mean, I might play Bach or something. You know, I could play something like this. You know, something that people recognize. I hate to do that though, because if you mess up, then they know it. Oops, like that. Everybody take a sip. I forgot I was in drop D. That's one of the rules. Right? Famous Bach piece. Without a thumbnail. Great harmony though, right? I mean, it is Bach. I'm out of tune already. Love that right there. That's such great. Michael Montgomery, what's going on? Grab that plate and play some class. It's sadly it's got a string lifter on it right now, so I could only do slide on it. I'd have to take the string lifter off, but I could totally do that. I could play, although I'd be afraid to shear off the one nail I have right now that's any good. I've got to make sure that I put nail strengthener on it this week just to keep them strong, and I'm trying to keep them filed down so they don't break. Just buy them both, yeah. What's a Cordoba Dulce? Dulce? What is that? Is that the model of Cordoba? Generally makes nylon string guitars. Is that right? Let me look. Do you have an acoustic? You have an acoustic, Catherine. You have an acoustic steel string, right? don't see dulcite. I don't know what that. You know, that's, is it? They don't make dobros. Did you mean to spell dobro? Oh, 7/8. Oh, I see. Okay, a 7/8. Yeah, because you got smaller hands, right? That's kind of nice. A parlor guitar. Yeah, I mean, you could, instead of getting maybe the, what is it, the Mini? The Taylor Rosewood Mini. What's that? Yeah. Oh yeah, I know which one that is. I mean, it's not. Yeah, that's not a bad. You know, those aren't bad guitars. It's yeah. So but the necks aren't that much smaller on them, are there? Are they? When they say 7/8, they don't. The neck is the same size as a regular guitar. I think it's just the body size is smaller. But maybe it's smaller. I don't know. Let's see, what's the scale on this? This is Mount Grayson's. Oh, I know. I haven't been to Grayson's in forever. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Product specs. Here they are. Number of frets. Nut width. 1.6. Yeah, I guess that is smaller than normal. Okay. So it is a little bit smaller. Helps with your hands. Seagull rosewood. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. None of, if it's the Taylor Minis, they're not gonna. The resale is, you know, you're probably best off just getting a used one, because you're not, you know, they don't keep their value or go up in value like some guitars do. And the nylon, so it just depends. Let's see, did you say you had a seal? Oh yeah, that's right. You have the Seagull rosewood. Okay, but you just want a smaller body, smaller. 50 millimeters. Okay. Well, it'd be nice to have a nylon if you don't have one. It just gives you something different. So. Hey JP, what's going on? Michael, yeah. Yeah, I could totally play classical on it, though. It would sound kind of cool. Very Bella Fleck sounding. I don't think I could play classical on the oud. Let's see. I should do D Dorian instead of D minor. Strings are getting kind of old on this thing. I'd love to be able to afford a nice oud. I'd love to get a really nice oud, but see, the reason I have that one is because it has the geared tuners, which the friction tuners just drive me crazy. It's a 1-to-1 gear ratio, and it's geared. You can buy these replacement ones that are actually geared, and so they fit in there. And I'd be real tempted to get those. They're not cheap. Cello, they make them for cellos, and you can buy them, but they're, you know, I think I have a $300 oud, and it would cost me about $600 to get enough tuners for a $300 oud. I mean, it makes no sense. So, Aslan, what's going on? Yes, for festivals, for, yeah, the classical oud. Yeah, well, it's definitely something you might do in like, yeah, I have a lute, so it would be for, so the oud is the father of the lute, and the lute is the father of the guitar. So kind of the oud is kind of the grandfather of the guitar. Is that a real scale, what I was playing? Yeah, as far as I know. This scale here is the Dorian scale. A Dorian in this case. You see the R's? Those R's are all A's. So yeah. So that, and I'll play it. Let's go. I'll go back to the vamp one. Let me go back to the vamp one where it doesn't change chords. When you're messing around with the scale, try to be as melodic as you can. Try to come up with some kind of theme, maybe even a short theme, and do variations on it. You know, it could be like, here's your theme. For an hour, they start showing up, don't they? Yeah, I'm using amplitude. There's a note that makes it very Dorian, the F sharp. I can play A minor blues and then throw in that Dorian note in there. Again, B.B. King would do that. But he wouldn't play over this kind of progression. He would play be more of a dominant seventh thing. Like that kind of thing. So I can take this piano and just take the C's and go up to C sharp. Now it just automatically becomes kind of a blues progression, a one chord blues progression. So, Lotus, what's going on? You're very welcome. Yeah, so let me drag this diagram into the Discord. You can see at the top there, there's a Discord link, and you can join that, and it's free to join, doesn't cost anything. We have a group you can chat, be cool with everybody, don't get in arguments or anything like that. Nothing worth fighting over with guitar. It's silly. Oh no, not that. That's Discogs. I want Discord. There it is. So I'm going to drag that file you're seeing right there, that Dorian scale, and I'm going to drag it right into the Tom's lesson in PDFs. All right, and you can see the ones I fixed from last week. So there it is. So it's there now. So you can drag it, and you might want to take all of them, that I put up there and put them in one PDF or one like Word document, and then just print it up, and then you got it in front of you so you can jam along, JP, oh, thank you. Thank you, Sam. Yeah, so yeah, I've got 800 plus videos. I've got to do some more content though, some non-live streaming content. Although Beato's doing a lot of live streaming, and just his looks a little better than mine, and he has a plan usually when we sit down, but he only goes for about 30 minutes, so he'll talk about one thing. I kind of get off in tangents. What's your favorite scale? I don't really have a favorite scale, but a go-to scale is always the blues scale, the minor blues. I mean, oftentimes when I'm like, oh man, that's a cool lick, what is it? And then I figure it out and decipher it and go, oh, it's just a blues scale. It's like something like that. But there's no one scale that kind of fits everything. You kind of have to accommodate. And this Dorian scale is kind of one of the 7 modes, of the major scale. So Dorian, which is what we're doing here, is the 2nd mode of G major. So A Dorian, same notes, but just starting on A to A. So yeah, so it's but definitely blues is kind of one of those, or minor pentatonics, or just the pentatonic shapes in general. Those are great to have facility in, because they're great to fall back on when you're like, what do? I don't know what to do. And you're like, just go with the blues. I mean, like I said, with this next progression, which has 2 chords in it, A minor and D7, Benson would just play it with the blues. A lot of players. And so, but if you play the Dorian, you've got 2 more notes. You've got the B and you've got this F sharp, which is really cool. Solo with one note. Like probably the coolest note over all of this might be the C, because it's the 3rd of the 1st chord and it's the 7th of the 2nd chord. It's hard not to play more than one note. Wants to resolve to that A, doesn't it? I could play a solo with 2 notes. Now I want to add a 3rd note. fourth note. Now I want to add all the notes. Or I go fusiony. Anyway, that's just silly. The fusion. But yeah, the Dorian scale. It's a fun scale of playing. It's definitely one of my favorites. I mean, I don't want to settle on. I don't have one favorite. Do I have one favorite guitar? Yeah. I have one favorite wife. That's. I don't have a favorite kid, although Alex is in the top 3. So. All right. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Aslan. Now, get back out there and mow the grass. Right? Are you the one that was mowing the grass? Okay, Kathy's already probably gone. I'll see you later. Bruce, thank you so much. Bruce, you were here the whole time. You're on vacation. Take a break. Holly, thank you. Thanks to Holly and Dennis and Bruce for moderating and getting rid of the spam. JP Gaming, good to see you. And everybody, I think we're starting to sign off here. Yeah, starting to lose people. So I will see you hopefully next Monday. I may log in if I'm practicing my classical guitar. Maybe I'll log in and I'll just practice while I'm live. But might as well, right? Doesn't hurt. So anyway, I will talk to you later. God bless you guys. Thank you so much. Bye.